I want to welcome you to our first buy or sell segment of the year. And we're going to do a little bit around the NFL. So I want to start here, of course, with the Lions. So Brant, buy or sell? The Lions have officially put the league on notice and are legitimate NFC contenders. Not like they're kind of in the hunt. I mean like they're hunting to win the NFC this year. Buy or sell?
Seems early, but why not be early to buy? I will be early to buy this. After what I saw on Thursday, the defense looked, I don't know if I would say championship level good, but I would definitely say playoff bound good enough. I liked what I saw there. Jared Goff did his thing. He made timely throws. He was poised in the pocket. He did all of the Jared Goff things you want to see Jared Goff do. Nothing like out of his element, crazy, awesome, but very workman-like performance from Jared Goff. And I thought the running game, it was okay. I didn't think the offensive line was blowing the Chiefs off the ball by any means. They did on that last drive. I think the Chiefs defense got a little bit tired there, but through the first three quarters, I didn't think exactly what I wanted to see from the Lions offensive line and their running game. It wasn't what I was expecting. I think they got some work to do in that department, but I think they put the league on notice. I will buy that, Dave.
You already know that I'm buying it, but I felt like the Lions, first of all, did not play their best game. I mean, it was week 1. You're not going to see any of these teams. But September football looks very different than November football. But they had the same number of reps as the Chiefs going into this game, which is 0, right? Like game 1. Let's just see what you're made of, see what you've been prepping for all offseason, see what all these new additions look like. And they went out, they beat the defending Super Bowl champs in Arrowhead Stadium, which is a very, very difficult place to play on the national stage. The most viewers to watch any game since the last Super Bowl, and the entire country tuning in. Yeah, I think the league is officially put on notice. I love the way this team plays. Once again, did not play their best game. Jared Goff didn't play his best game, but he was good enough to get the win. Throwing wounded ducks in there to Josh Reynolds. Hey, that 3rd and 12 or whatever that was, like, that's a play you got to have right there. Didn't have their best running game, but you can see glimpses of it. You can see how David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs just complement each other well. You're going to see more of Jahmyr Gibbs, as Dan Campbell said. I'm just all in on this team, and I want to dial into a couple specific aspects, and we've kind of just touched on 2 things, actually. So, Brant, my next buy or sell for you is, speaking of rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Buy or sell?
I'm going to go ahead and sell that. I think just because of the split that he'll have with Montgomery, I don't think he'll have the red zone touches he might need. Now, he'll have some plays where he will take it 40, 50 yards to the house. I believe you will see some of that, but I'm going to go with sell that mostly because of the split in the backfield with Montgomery. And rookie year, I don't know if he's used to, obviously I know he's not used to getting hit every single week by NFL players. That can be sometimes an adjustment period, so you could see him miss a game or two here or there, but I think mostly due to the split with Montgomery, I don't see him winning Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I'm going to go ahead and sell that as well for the same reason. But really, I mean, it really is not that far-fetched. When you start going through these names, especially this year, and looking like at wide receivers and all of that, like you don't have the Chris Olaves, the Garrett Wilsons. I'm just thinking of like the class last year. It's not that deep in terms of who's going to threaten to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think probably the only name that I would put above Jahmyr Gibbs, just as it stands right now, would be Bijan Robinson. But he didn't get the bulk of the carries. This past weekend he got 10 carries, but made a nice touchdown. You can already see they're going to run the ball, throw the ball to him. He looks elite. I just think as the season goes on, I don't think they're going to overwork Gibbs. I mean, he's not even 200 pounds, and you need him to be durable. You need him to be on the field in December, and so he's not a running back that's going to be getting 25 touches a game. He's just not. But he's a weapon. He is an absolute weapon. I think that they're going to continue to be very creative with him. You see the shiftiness. You see how elusive he is. He runs tough, too, for being that small. He's not easy to bring down. And yeah, I mean, I think he's got a great chance of beating in this race, actually. But I think Bijan Robinson is just right now, I mean, it's week one, you're looking at it at a glimpse, but just from touches alone and what the outlook of the season looks like, that offense will run through Bijan Robinson. The Lions offense I do not see running through Jahmyr Gibbs, but man, he's going to be a heck of a weapon. I absolutely love what that kid brings to the table.
Dave, and I think the big difference is last year's class, it didn't host quarterbacks like this class has in C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young as well. Don't forget about those two, Dave, where all it will take is a few good games, I feel like, from maybe a couple of those guys, and they kind of sway the tables just because of them being quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Brant, next one, buy or sell. The Lions will finish the year as a top 10 defense.
I'm going to buy that, Dave, and I'm going to buy it from what I saw on Thursday. I'm going to buy it from some of this division as well, though. Jordan Love looked great. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to have his ups and downs this year probably. But he went against the Bears. And, Dave, I don't know if there's a more questionable team in the league right now than what are the Bears. What was that? That was kind of a nightmare, and Jordan Love took it to him. So I kind of like the way that the division sets up for the Lions right now, especially defensively. I think that they could have certainly the best defense in that division, and that can go a long way in being the best or a top 10 defense in this league. So I will buy that. Plus, I loved what I saw from the defensive line on Thursday night. I really did. And their secondary, obviously the pick six, a little bit of luck there with the dip drill situation, but nonetheless was able to take it back to the house.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Kadarius Toney just dropped another ball.
Yeah, he's had what you would consider a rough week. But no, I really do love the way that this defense is starting to shape up, and you're seeing guys really emerge off the scene. And I really love the way the defensive line played, Dave.
I'm going to buy this as well. We're not talking like top 5 defense, but I think when I say top 10, I think it's probably right around that range, which is a great leap for this team, especially given their age and experience and the amount of new pieces there. Aiden Hutchinson's a problem. He is an absolute problem. That guy, although he did not get a sack, he is going to terrorize quarterbacks this year. They basically had to cheat to try and block Hutch and play off him in ways that they're not even allowed to do. He's just in on every single play, and his motor is just nonstop. We have not seen the best of Aiden Hutchinson yet. His actual skills in getting to the quarterback, his ability to get in and not just rely on I know you heard the bull rush stuff kind of coming out of Michigan and all of that, but he's going to fine tune some things. He's only going to get better. Brant, I think he is going to be an absolute anchor of this defense. Josh Paschal played good as well. I was very encouraged by him. Kaminsky, another guy who he looked good. He made a couple of key plays. Grinder, Jack Campbell, that pass breakup looked great. Brian Branch, right place, right time. But man, pick 6, your first game of the year, that does wonders for a kid's confidence. And I mean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, are you kidding me? Like, dude, he is, in my opinion, just what this team has been missing.
He's the leader of that defense already. Yep. I think, Dave.
He's a chirper. He's all those things, and he's a dog. He really, really is, and we have needed that, and I absolutely, man, I am totally. He could have had a couple of picks that night too. He just had himself a great game, making great plays on the ball. Super encouraged by him. Cam Sutton, I don't know. I mean, he looked okay. Questionable pass interference call there, and we still haven't seen Emmanuel Mosley yet, who's not healthy, but he's on. He's close to coming back. He's potentially a better cornerback than Cam Sutton. So I mean, this defense I'm pretty high on, and I think they are going to take a major leap. And I think Aaron Glenn has these guys ready to play, so I'm going to buy that. All right, we went a little bit longer on those buy or sell, so we'll start moving through some of these that are non-Lions related. Brant, buy or sell? The Kansas City Chiefs are going to take a step back this year.
I guess I'll define step back as not make the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship. Let's just put it that. Let's put that disclaimer on it. They can make the playoffs, but they won't make the championship game. I will buy that. I believe that the AFC is much tougher this year than it has been in years past. I love what I saw from the Dolphins and Chargers. I mean, I didn't love what I saw defensively, but offensively they can score with the Chiefs, that's for sure. And the Chiefs, last year I felt like they kind of got by just kind of stringing it along as they went. This year, I'm not buying it, Dave. I will sell them to not make the AFC Championship game.
But Brant, they didn't have Travis Kelce. But Brant.
There's the asterisk. Thanks, Mike Tirico.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to buy this. That is my step back as well, Brant. Obviously, taking a step back if you don't make the Super Bowl is one thing, but I mean, the standard for the Chiefs is to make the AFC Championship. I don't think they get there this year unless they make some type of trade, Patrick Mahomes needs help. I know Travis Kelce was out, but those wide receivers are awful. Like, I don't know, they got to go get themselves like a Mike Evans or somebody like that to bring in because, man, it looks bad. And Patrick Mahomes did everything he could to save this team with his legs. I mean, I thought he was still Patrick Mahomes, but this team, they're just not good right now. And so left a lot to be desired. It is early. It is week one. Week one Chiefs will look very different than week 14, 15 Chiefs. But I don't think they get there this year. I agree. I think the AFC is pretty deep. Next one, Brant, buy or sell? Jordan Love and the Packers are legit NFC North contenders this year.
Sell. I will say it again. I don't know what the Bears are. That was weird. It looked like crap. I don't know how well they're coached. I know Justin Fields is really good. I don't know anything else about the Bears that is solid right now. I know Jordan Love played well enough to win the game, but he didn't blow me away by any means. I mean, he threw a couple touchdown passes, sure, but they were short. Aaron Jones did a lot of work for him, like he normally does for the first 5 weeks of every season, and then he'll fade away and we'll never hear from him again. I'm sure of that. So I am not buying the Packers as NFC North contenders at the moment. I think that still belongs to the Vikings as of right now. And my preseason prediction of the Bears being the team to challenge the Lions, I need to sell that right now. I need to sell that stock. I'm sure I can't sell it for very much right now, but I will buy that the Vikings will be the contender, not the Packers or the Bears.
I'll buy this just for the sense that I actually have, as it stands today, week after week one, I've got the Packers higher than, the Bears just did not look good at all. That offensive line is going to get Justin Fields killed. I still stand by my stance on the Vikings. I just do not think that they're very good. I thought the Packers, I think Jordan Love's going to be a pleasant surprise. Let me just put it that way if you're a Packers fan. I don't think he's great. I'm not saying he's going to be the next up after Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if it's Jordan Love for the next 20 years. But I think he's good enough. I think he's pretty good. I mean, that was a pretty good debut. I will say yes, I'm buying that they are currently better than those two teams and will contend with the Lions for the NFC North. Brant, buy or sell? There's reason to be concerned about Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
That's a major buy. I'll buy a lot of that stock. I am worried about their run game for sure. I don't like Joe Mixon right now. I don't like their offensive line. I've never really liked their offensive line. But Joe Burrow was under pressure. Dave, when I saw his stat line, I said 82 yards for the entire game. And wait a minute, Joe played the entire game? This can't be real. And I know, it's the NFL. You're going to have stinkers every now and again, and you're going to have to just throw game tape away and be like, we got to start over week 2, whatever. That looks like a real problem, Dave. And when you have dudes like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase on the outside, 82 yards, in a word, is unacceptable unless you're you or I playing quarterback, Dave. That was really bad from the Bengals and Joe Burrow. I am concerned. I'm sorry, was that a bye? That they're awful?
Yeah, you are buying. I said there's reason to be concerned about Burrow and the Bengals.
I'm buying.
Okay, I'm gonna sell that. They started similar last year. I know, yeah, week one was real bad, but I just believe in Joe Burrow and all $275 million he just got with that contract. Joe Cool, he's just. I'm not out on him. It's one game. I think that they will get better as the year goes. And to be honest, like, it will not surprise me at all if they are back in the AFC Championship. And I know, trust me, they looked bad. They looked real bad this past weekend. I'm not out on them. And Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is the top two wide receiver in the league, and T. Higgins, I don't even know if he caught a ball. That's not going to happen again. So I just think that there is a lot of meat on the bone here still for the Bengals.
Maybe I should put that disclaimer in there. The Browns' defense is really good too. I mean, that thing's been built over years. That's a really good defense. So maybe we have to put that disclaimer in there as well. But like I said, I mean, that is absolutely unacceptable from that Bengals offense to produce 82 yards passing and 3 points. Embarrassing.
For sure. All right, two more on the NFL, and then we will transition to some college football. Brant, buy or sell? The Dallas Cowboys will compete in the NFC Championship game this year.
I love that you asked me that. Look at that smile. Well, it's like that. I just asked you if you think that the Cowboys are going to be driving a Lamborghini into the playoffs and then all of a sudden fly off the road and crash and burn. Yeah, Dave, I believe that's going to happen. No, I'm going to sell them as NFC Championship contenders, or that they make the NFC Championship. You know, I love their defense. I really do. But don't tell me that Dak and that offense really impressed you that much. I mean, they are... I think they're middle-of-the-road offense. I really do. I don't think that if they got into a shootout that they could contend, or I guess keep point for point with some of the best offenses in the NFL. I really do think that their defense is championship caliber. It was last year. And look at Tony Pollard got hurt, and all of a sudden the wheels came off. Like... I do worry about this offense. I think there are serious concerns. And then I watch a team like the 49ers play the Steelers and absolutely dismantle them. Their offense looked like it was never missed a beat. And guess what? Their defense is still just as good as it was for the last few years. So I compare them against a team like the 49ers, and I will sell that the Cowboys will make it there, Dave. I know. Go ahead and buy it.
I have to sell it because I just, until September, October, November, Dak shows up, and I know he didn't play great. He didn't really play bad either, but didn't play that great this weekend. 40-0 is 40-0. Till I can see what January Dak looks like in a different form. That's not been the form that we have seen over the last several years. I have to sell this. I just cannot buy it. The defense is for real. Like they are arguably have the best defense in the NFL. Top three, I would say, absolutely up there with the Niners, Jets. I think those three teams right there, in my opinion, have the best defenses, and defense will take you a long ways. They continue to. This is the story of Dak Prescott, and so we will see how this story ends. I have seen how it's ended for several years now, but I just cannot buy it yet. Brant, I will just say, I would love if the Cowboys did something bold and traded like a second-round pick to get Jonathan Taylor. I would love if they got a guy like Jonathan Taylor. Bring him in after week 4, be there as security for Tony Pollard. I mean, good offensive line, 2 great running backs, wide receiver room's pretty loaded. I would love to see them do that, but doubt it's going to happen. So anyway, Brant, last one here. Brant, buy or sell. Dan Campbell is your NFL Coach of the Year this year.
Dave, I'm going to have to buy this. I know I'm shocking the world right now. I am going to have to buy this. Is there a drop?
That's the kneecap drop. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, I think we need to name our new Lions segment when we recap the Lions, recaps for kneecaps. I really do think that Dan Campbell is absolutely going to be in the running for the coach of the year. I don't know how it's going to play out. I did not like this at the beginning of the preseason, I guess I should say. Coming into this year, boy, you beat the Chiefs, that goes a long way. And this team looks motivated, and the defense looks fantastic. I will buy him for coach of the year.
Brant, have you seen this guy talk to his team in the locker room? I mean, I watch it and want to crawl off the couch and then find a way to run through the wall of my house for him. I love this guy. I just do. Like, he is just the ultimate player motivator. America's bought into him, into the Lions. I know I'm a Cowboys fan. You're a Cowboys fan, but the Lions are America's team right now. I'll just name it. I think, truthfully, there are, maybe outside of the NFC North rivals, everybody's pulling for this team. There's not a person on this planet that does not like Dan Campbell. Dude's going for it on 4th down on his own 20 to start the game in Arrowhead Stadium. Like, who else is doing that? I mean, get a wheelbarrow for this guy. He is absolutely there's nobody like Dan Campbell in the NFL. And to be honest, Brant, I think just stuff like that goes a long ways when you're talking about who's going to be the coach of the year. It's a great story, and I can see how this thing's going to end. I'm going to buy this as well. I think Dan Campbell is your coach of the year this year. All right. Let's hop into our next segment, Brant. This is all